Hi everyone, excited to be part of this Protothon. My name's Eva Lee. Unfortunately, I cannot be there in person today, so I did a little recording to share some of my tips about job searching in general. I hope that you find it helpful. And this is a pretty cool tool I am using. It's called but hopefully you may have fun a bit later as well. Anyways, again, my name's Eva Lee. I'm a UX designer turned product manager. So just like you, I was working as a UX designer or studying to become one. And I'm really passionate about crafting solution to deliver value and solve problems for our end users through design thinking, iterative problem solving, and agile development. I'm also a mentor. I would like to give back to the community because throughout my career, I had so many great mentors throughout my studying, also my career. And I am also an entrepreneur. I started my design agency, also a startup, a few times. I'm still doing it. So here we are. Today, there's few things I want to share with you. So, three questions I hope to answer by the end of this little recording is like, uh, what problems are you trying to solve in your job searching journey? Second, what's your job searching strategy? And what does a PM look for from a designer? So first one, what problem are you trying to solve? A lot of times we solve a lot of design, design challenges, but I never did until years back then. I never really look at my career as a design challenge because if you look at our, job searching journey, you usually look like this. You submit your resume, you get phone interview, and you may get a second interview. And maybe the next step is that you take some design challenge. Either you do it at home or do it on the spot. So, do you know where you're getting stuck? Are you collecting data? Are you asking feedback? I know it's kind of hard sometimes to get feedback from recruiter, but have you tried or any other ways that you're doing so to collect feedback on your interviewing performance? So if you know where you're getting stuck, then you probably will have a better idea how you want to solve that problem. For example, you're just not getting any phone interview, or maybe it's because your resume need to be updated, or you just need to network more so that you can get yourself out there, letting people in the industry know what you are good at. Or if you are getting phone interview, lots of phone interviews, but you're not really advancing to the next stage, perhaps you just need to pitch or practice your pitch a bit more, or get feedback from your colleagues or your mentors on how you're basically pitching yourself in your first interview. So figure out where you get stuck so that you can have better focus. And also set up some success metrics for yourself. What does success look like for this particular solution? Is it because you want X amount of phone interviews, or you want to get X amount of conversion, meaning you can actually get converted into a certain stage? So set those goals and know where you get stuck. And second, big question, a loaded question: what's your job searching strategy? Often when I ask that, oops, sorry, I'm still getting used to this tool, but I just try to be fun and want to use a different background. So second, where is it? What's your job searching strategy? A lot of times when we get asked or when we think about it, I'm like, I don't have a job searching strategy. I don't know. And that's okay. I didn't have one when I started either. But having a strategy goes a long way. The very first step is with this job searching strategy is to figure out what your superpowers are. If you know what you're good at, you can brand yourself better and also get to know yourself better. If you don't know what you're good at, start asking your friends, people you've worked with, like, what are you good at? Because you want to make sure you understand what you're good at, your strengths and weaknesses, so that you can actually brand yourself as that, and also make sure you can stand out among your colleagues in specific skill set. So figure that out, what you're good at. And second, ask yourself what your ideal job is. So think about what kind of industry you want to get into, what type of companies, a small companies, a startup where you have to wear a lot of different hats, or it's a large company where you may be very specialized in a certain vertical, meaning that you are super good at research or super good at interaction design. So what's your ideal work environment look like? And also the type of company, for example, B2C versus a B2B company, may have an impact on your day-to-day activity. So B2C is like business selling products to consumers. So the user tend to have a lot or higher expectation on the user experience, on the UI design. So you may be doing a lot of testing, rapid prototyping. As for B2B product, especially in the enterprise world, things get a little bit slow. However, the fun thing is that the problems are usually more complex, and there's no like established design pattern out there when you can study. So you get to really craft that experience, craft that problem, and come up with a solutions to solve that problem. But that also comes with a lot of technical and business constraints, which is a lot of fun too. So it really depends on what you're passionate about. So think about what your ideal job could look like. So once you have identified where you want to get to, then it's much easier to try to come up with a plan to fill in those gaps. Because if you don't know where you want to get to, it's just like if you don't know who your users are, you try to design for everyone. As you know, it wouldn't work. You need to understand your audience. So you need to understand where you want to get to so that it's much easier for you to craft the plan to fill in those gaps. And last but not least, just go get it. It doesn't hurt to start trying, but having a plan will definitely bring you more success. So that's the second topic. And I'm gonna switch my cute little background every slide. Just kidding. So the last topic or last, question I want to answer is, what does a product manager look for from a designer? Good question. So there are really three things I'm looking for from a designer. Obviously, this could be very different from company to company, from PMs to PMs. But first one is problem-solving skill. Problem-solving skills. So a lot of times when we think about problem-solving skills, designer may be really happy to show off their awesome prototype, which is very important. But to me, problem-solving skills is only 20% about the wireframes, 20% about the prototypes. 80% of the time it's about how the designer understand and scope the problem and how they work with the rest of the team to ensure we can deliver the solution to end users. So when you're in an interview, spend time to articulate the problem and how you define that problem. Talk about your research. I want to know about why you choose a specific research method over the other. And I want to learn about what you learned, basically. If you can get get people in the interview having that wow or aha moment, like, I didn't know that, that really means that your research was successful because you were able to collect insights that the general audience wouldn't have known. So that's kind of the problem skill. And then the second is the soft skill, where can you be successful collecting feedback from our users? Can you mingle with our stakeholders and users? That doesn't mean that you have to be an extrovert to be super outgoing. I'm an introvert myself, so I understand it's exhausting. But I want to know if the designer have the ability to extract the feedback from end user. Can they make them comfortable enough and be honest and share those insights and maybe get the dirt out, what they really think about our product. And second, now we kind of move everything virtual. Facilitation skills also very important. I want to see how the designer adapt to different medium, how they facilitate workshops. What I'm really looking for from a designer is that they can just go out in the world without a lot of hand-holding, and they can just kind of be independent, be able to lead those research and design workshops. And third is the ability to understand development and business a lot of times I see more junior designers design for the so-called happy path. It's quite linear. It's like you click, 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 and then you'll be able to get to the final state, which is yay, the task is completed state. But in reality, it's not quite that. It's not really a linear path. There are a lot of edge cases, so I want to see if the designer can understand that and how they work with developers, because developers might be thinking, oh, we're designing a filter, but what if there's no data coming back? What will users see? So you need to think about empty state. Or, oh, what if there's a server error where we just cannot connect or send a query to our database? What does the software do at that point? So I want to understand how the designers handle those situations, whether they can also foresee that we need to handle those situations. Those are the qualities I'm looking for. And also if they can understand the technical constraints and communicate with the development team. And for the business side, I want to make sure the designer could also have a sense, they understand the big picture as what business goals we want to achieve. There will also be a plus as they understand what beyond the UX metrics, what are some of the success metrics as a business we want to achieve. So that was very brief on what a product designer will be looking for. Again, you could be very different, but I'm happy to talk more in depth. So if you want to connect with me through LinkedIn, I also mentor at ADP List, or you can shoot me an email if you have questions. I'm very open to answer any questions or have further discussions. So that's a little bit about the tips on how you can get better in your job searching journey. It's different for everyone. Don't feel discouraged if you don't get your dream job right away. It's really about planning. Also, all experiences matter. So that's it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Protothon. I'm super excited to see what you all have come up towards the end of the competition. I'll see you.